Hello everyone, welcome back to our RxJS tutorial series. In this video, we would be talking about purity, flow, and values what RxJS gives about. So, purity is nothing but using a pure function with the help of RxJS. So, let's see an example of this. So, in this, we are trying to add 5 and 10, and this is a pure function which we would be using inside an observable. So let's try to understand what is exactly happening over it. So over here we are just creating an observable with values of 5 and 10, and then we are using that observable to go through it and use this pure add to total function and pass the initial value as 0. So scan is nothing but an operator over here, and once we are done with that, it gives us an observable which we can subscribe. So what we see over here is, first we get 5 plus 0 is 5, and another 5 is the total values, 5 plus 10, which is 50. So that's the purity of RxJS. It doesn't, so unlike a impure function, given a input, it would always give the output which is expected output. It uses the concept of pure functions. Let's move to the next one, which is flow. So in this we have how does the RxJS operation flows. So what we would see over here is that we have a button click event, just like the one which we saw in the first video. In this, we are trying to capture an event from this button, and whenever there's a click, this button click event would be captured. So what we're trying to do over here is that we are trying to throttle it for 1 second. So what that would do is, when I click on it for the very first time, it would show a console, and if I click in between of that 1 second, it wouldn't show any console. Let's try that. So first time I clicked it, it shows throttle click. If I click again, you see I'm clicking it multiple times, but it just shows every 1 second. So that's how throttle works. So yeah, there are other methods to this, like delay. If you want to delay the click, let's see that too. Let me comment this and comment this. So now if I click on this, whenever I click, it would be consoled with a delay of 1 second. So I'm clicking now, and a console would come up after a second. So that's about delay. And similarly, we have concat map to delay each click emission by 1 second. So let's see that too. So what I'm doing over here is I'm clicking on it, and it says delays click in order. So it is storing the previous click and changing the flow of it. So that's about the flow. And next we are moving to values. So that's the value. So what RxJS does is it changes the value of an observable in the runtime. So again over here you're using the off from RxJS, which helps us to create an observable. So this here is an observable, and what we are doing is we are trying to multiply that with 2. So that's an observable, and when we subscribe to it, what we see is 1 into 2 is 2, 5 into 2 is 10. So it changes the value of the observable. That's for this video. In the next videos, we would start with observable. Thank you. Happy coding.